G'day everyone and welcome to another quarterly market update. This market update is for March to June, so the fourth quarter of the last financial year. If you flick over and click through the link and you'll go to the actual PDF, it'll be labeled Q2. It's more aligned with the calendar year. It's benchmarks data, and I think that's just how they've outlaid it. Probably goes out to more directly to a lot of buyers who are coming into the market. But for us commercial folk and in the industry, it's definitely Q4 market update. So what couple of things that I think will be interesting trends to look out for. So what we've seen, those rate rises and rate hikes that came, the first one we got was back in May. Now they've been quite aggressive since, and they're going to continue to be quite aggressive in the coming months. Well, they're predicted to be. So what we've seen in the last quarter updates, I think we'll see a bit of a shift. So as you go through, you can still see the cleaning services are quite in demand, probably still some residual leftover from still occurring the COVID pandemic and commercial cleaning. But on probably the domestic front, cleaning services might be, I would say, coming into lesser demand as homeowners and the public start tightening their belts with their spending. And the first things that are usually to go are those sort of service expenses, gardening, cleaning, bits and things like that. But nonetheless, there's plenty to see and in the market update, and there's some really good data in there. So it's across the 5 states of the country. And as I said, brought to us thanks to Benchmark, and it's the data collected through their operations and some third-party websites. So click through and read the full report. But what I can say right now is the usual suspects. We've seen buyer demand for service stations, childcare, cleaning is still in there. And that has also equaled to sellers achieving higher prices in those businesses. So maybe if you do own some sort of cleaning company or servicing business, that might be a good time to sell before the hikes really take a foothold in people's spending. A couple of other businesses or industries that are experiencing higher buyer demand than the previous quarter are, we've got medical businesses, you've got online retail is a big one, and labor hire, trying to keep up. We can't get any staff, so labor hire companies are booming too. Now, what's translated to vendors achieving a higher price? Well, the labor hire is in there. The 3 that I mentioned before, the home improvements, service stations, supermarkets, rent rolls are achieving higher prices, and facilities management as well. So, and did I mention online retail? Yeah. So they're the big winners for last quarter. What's not, the buyer demand has decreased, probably in all the usual suspects. You've got hospitality in all its forms and food retail, bars, clubs, bakeries, restaurants, cafes, etc. We've also got gymnasiums still aren't really recovering, and printing is a big one. That's the buyer demand has dipped too. And top of my head, I'm thinking just because as we've had this huge shift into online and software's become more readily available, that's probably removed the need for printing services. You can get cards and all sorts of merch and things just sent digitally. But also, if there's a lot less in-person seminars or where they put together booklets for, say, 100 people, they're all doing that via Zoom now as well. So I think that'll come back in demand once we see more and more people get back into in-person sort of seminars. But for now, printing's down. The businesses that have not only lost buyer demand but aren't achieving a very great price or a lesser price are still the same ones for the last 2 years, unfortunately. So that's the cafes, the gyms, the traditional retail, your hospitality, your hair salons, and motels as well. They're still lower demand and lower prices, but I think motels will come back, and print as well, as the more people get out and start moving around. But if they're your industries that you do quite well in or you want to get into, then it's probably a really good time to scoop up a good deal to get yourself into that sector, or maybe expand your network or your model, and you can acquire a couple of great businesses in that sector that are only could be 3, 6, 9, 12 months away, that are really starting to come back strong. So that's it for today's market update. There's plenty more in the report. Have a read through it. It breaks down state by state, and if you do want to talk about what you might be able to achieve in your business, then give me a call or email me through on the link below. Okay, I'm Mick Godwin. Thanks for watching.